Yo, what's up guys, been on fire here back with a video, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys my first pro scheme of Madden 22. You guys loved these videos last year when I made them on pretty much all of the belt winners, a lot of the pro players. So we're going to bring you guys another one. We're starting out with JonBeast's, the Madden 22 Kickoff Challenge champion. We're going to be talking about his gun bunch offset that he used to win the tournament and the setups that he ran in those games. Before you guys go to the comment section, I know a lot of you guys are probably typing as I speak right now. This isn't like stolen. I don't re-upload ebooks. I've never bought an ebook. I don't do that type of stuff. So pretty much what I do is something that you all could do at home. I just sit down, watch 3 games, get my notebook out, write down the setups that I see, and then I show you guys the setups. So I don't consider it like stealing. I don't know. Some people in the comments are very delusional, but yeah, let's just overall get straight into it. We're going to be in the bunch offset in the Indianapolis Colts offensive playbook. The setups go as followed. You're going to go spacing switch at X, double post at Y, vert tap back under at L1, and then flood at RB. Those are going to be your 4 audibles. We will be running an additional 4 plays as well, including the read option, the Z spot, smash return, and dig return. So total of 8 plays. Now, JonBeast runs a very unique style of gun bunch offset, a lot of clock management, a lot of running the ball, a lot of flipping, a lot of short side bunch, but he actually doesn't run too many setups. Out of those 3 games, we do not have as many setups as we usually would in these types of pro schemes. So it is kind of interesting, very unique style of bunch, and I hope you guys can learn from it. Before we get into the video, make sure you guys drop a big thumbs up if you want more pro player schemes. Let me know who else you want to see. I could still bring a clef version. It is a little bit tougher this year because everybody runs gun bunch offset, so maybe someone who mixed in the bunch tight end a little bit. But I mean, everyone runs gun bunch. I could also maybe mix in a defensive version if I can. It's tough because the defensive setups aren't really shown, so you have to look very carefully. But yeah, make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel as well. We're on the road to 20K subs. And also, let me know, I got a question for you guys. First game of the season for my Cowboys. As you can see the shirt there. Cowboys are definitely going to flood the Buccaneers. If you're watching this after they win by like 20 to 30 points, then you can say that I predicted it well. But yeah, let me know in the comments also who's your Super Bowl pick. I got the Cowboys winning the Super Bowl over the Bills. Should be an easy win for them. But one last thing to talk about before we finally get to the setups is that I do have a Google Doc written version down below in the comments section. So that's what I'm looking at right now as I speak, and that's what you can all look at. I do recommend looking at it while you watch the video if you can. If you're watching on your phone or something, then you can click on after you watch the video and see all of the setups there. Some people like it, and a lot of people request it when I don't do it, so we do have the Google Doc for this particular ebook or guide, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to start out with the verticals, verts, halfback under. One of the best plays in the game. This is something that's not in the regular gun bunch, and it's really important to have this running back route. This running back route is one of the most unguardable routes in the game. You have to shift a ton of focus. Usually you have to end up either using 2 guys or including your user in an extra zone to stop it. Man coverage doesn't beat it, so it's one of the best zones in the game. Now, the stock way that he ran this verticals play was actually kind of a quick snap type setup. He'd catch a lot of people off guard with it. And the way that you do it was just a delay fade with A, which will be a common theme. We will be going back to this delay fade with A, but I do want to talk about Cole Beasley's route. Cole Beasley's route is probably the best route in potentially the game. It's like a 40-yard crosser. You could set your zone drops to 30 yards, and it would still not defend it. That's how good this crosser is. So if we just snap it against like a stock cover 3, for example, we roll out a little bit, you see it's just wide open, super deep, and I'm not making any defensive adjustments, but you could set that guy to 30-yard curl flats, and you would still not stop it. And that's one route. Super difficult to use as well, because again, you still have Y. You still potentially have this wheel route that can get open depending on what coverage he is in. Now, one thing that JonBeast does a lot, if you go back and watch the games, is he flips his bunch. So he will either come out on the wide side, flip it to the short side, which he actually runs a decent amount, or he will just come out on the short side, then flip it to the wide side. What flipping does is it will pretty much ruin your opponent's defensive adjustments. If your opponent comes out, he makes a couple of adjustments depending on the bunch side, puts this guy, this outside linebacker, in a hard flat, he mans up that slot cornerback, and then you flip it. That's going to reset his adjustments. And you see you could just come out here, delay fade A, then you flip it. He still is on that delay fade, and then you just spam A to snap the ball as soon as you can. If you're playing a good player, they should still be able to get the adjustments off, but sometimes things get messed up. Sometimes you lag a little bit. Sometimes an adjustment doesn't register. You guys all know this. You guys all play Madden. But yeah, there we showed the running back route. This running back route, again, fries. One issue is that he kind of gets stuck there sometimes. Sometimes he will actually never be able to get through the line. But for the most part, he should be able to get through pretty quickly there. And his route will be wide open against man and zone. One of the better things to do is to roll out, release that delay fade by tapping the A button, and then you're able to throw that up the field. Really, the only way to stop that is with the delay fade, because at the point in the play where you roll out completely, all the zones should be shifted up the field in some kind of a manner, so you're pretty much forcing them to man up A if you go to this route combo a lot. You see B, he actually kind of gets open. That's literally stock cover 3. This is cover 3 buzz. So those are stock curl flats, and you see how just a regular wheel route was actually able to get open. So cool enough. So he actually runs this wheel route stock. I've seen people motion him out. I think he might have did it once, but he didn't do it a lot. So you usually just want to leave B on his normal route. If you want to, that can kind of pull up zones depending on the coverage. But yeah, you can just mix between running this play on the short side of the field. You can run it on the wide side. One of the main reasons you would run verticals on the short side of the field is just to open up this crosser even more. When he's running 40 yards, he has more space to actually run this route even deeper. So I can just wait and throw that like 40, 50 yards down the field. So that can definitely be something if you notice some kind of a zone maybe biting down or it not getting open from the wide side or the short side. But yeah, I'm spending a lot of time on this, more time than I will for the other setups because this was his probably most used play, especially in that clef game. But the next way to run it is the typical cover 3 beater type way where you streak B. Of course, this is a cover 3 beater. Most good players will not give this up, but if you're playing a bot, which is a high possibility if you're just playing ranked seasons or weekend league, then this is the best cover 3 beater in the game. And if they don't adjust, you'll throw for 500 to 1,000 yards. Again, all you have to do is streak B. The wheel route will pull down that outside third, and then you can just pass it up the field or to the right side as we did there. Even with a slower receiver like Emmanuel Sanders, we're still able to get that much separation, so you can see how this would be one of the better things. Of course, you still have that wheel route that you could hit, and again, you still have your crosser, you still have your deep fade, so it's worth it. Again, another quick snap type setup. There's no motion, there's one hot route, so pretty simple stuff right there. Once again, you could go ahead and run this on the short side of the field. I really do not recommend running this particular setup on the short side just because the wheel route and the streak kind of run line in line, and of course the cover 3 beater will not work from the short side of the field. So really this is more of a wide side setup. You could realistically do it, but I wouldn't really see too much of a point in that unless you're trying to flip the play or get some quick adjustments off. But yeah, overall just probably one of the best plays in the game. I actually dropped a full money play video on this, and I actually have my own version of this Colts ebook out on YouTube, so you can check those videos out if you want to add after this one. But yeah, this is pretty much the 2 setups he ran for verticals, and like I said, he did not run a lot of setups with this. He would stick to the same 2, 3, 4 setups, run the ball a lot. It's really a simple offense. So the next play we're going to talk about is double post. Again, if you watch the games, he did not run this double post nearly as much as some of the other guys like Henry would or Clef. I know Clef ran that double post a lot. Don't care about ice. He ran it a lot. He was more of a verticals player, more of a verticals flood type of guy. He would mix in things like smash return, but he ran the ball a lot more than some of the other guys did. So he obviously didn't get more setups up, and he just stuck with what worked. So the main setup for a double post is something that you guys all know is just a drag RB, just pretty simple. Again, you still have your under route with the running back. You see that was a situation of him getting bumped, which I was watching him the entire time instead of watching the field, which is why we threw that incompletion. But double post, it's one of the better plays in the game. It's, again, 3-3-5 wide. The way it's set up against this particular defense is pretty good against it, or it's not good against it, but it's good for bumping that running back is what I mean. But yeah, double post. Again, you see you have that post threat. Really difficult on the user, especially when you run a lot of verticals. You might expect RB to be on like a deeper route. You can catch him off guard with this post route with his user. Of course, you have the easy check down with your tight end, which is an underrated route. You're pretty much forcing people to go double Mabel to stop this particular setup, double post. They have to go double Mabel, but then even then you can probably sneak in like a drag before they get to the flat, and you can pick up an easy 15 yards. Just super difficult, super next level to be able to defend this. I can't defend it, I'll tell you guys that much. But yeah, just a basic setup. Pretty difficult. You have to involve some kind of a man coverage. You have to man up that B receiver. This C route, you will see he gets open against certain coverages a lot better than this cover 3 stock. He will be open a lot. You have to make sure you watch this C route because he does get open a good amount. So if you're not watching him, you obviously don't know that. But for now, you see that outside linebacker will curl flat, will do a decent job on him. The next way to run this is going to incorporate some of the good blocking in bunch, which is why it's used. A lot of people ask me, why is bunch used so much? What's so good about bunch that some other formations don't have? And it's going to be the blocking. Just being able to block from both sides super easily. You don't have to use motion. You can still block and then use motion. Super nice to have. So what we're going to do here, you expect some heat. You're just going to put A on a little delay fade. And the route combo still stays pretty much the same. I mean, I don't see too many people throwing that flat regardless. There you see we throw the post route. Still have your drag, still have your under. And then it also gives you a rollout threat. Whereas the drag, or when you're running it like this, you don't have a rollout threat. And now if I do it like this, I'm forced out of the pocket. I have pressure. Then I can release A, and I can actually hit him super deep down the field, and it can turn into a 20 to 30 yard potential gain for you. So that is the other way to run double post. Anyways, with that being said, we'll hop into the next play, which will be flood, the next used play. Flood, again, only 2 setups for this play, so you can kind of see a theme. There's really 2 setups for all of these besides spacing, Z-spot, and dig return, but smash return will also have 2 setups in addition. So there's 2 ways to run this flood. We're going to show a 5-out setup and a 4-out setup. So you're going to block your tight end on the second setup. But what we're going to do for this one is just put Y on a little out to the left. So it's going to be an out to the left. But overall, you're going to run everything else kind of the same. This is really good against double Mabel because of the in route and the out route. So it's good against that. This is also one of the best plays against cover 4 quarters or any kind of a cover 4 show 2, which was kind of the meta. It was the defense that Clef was running all game against JonBeast's, so that is why he went to this flood a decent amount. It's the play that he threw an interception on early in the game, which you saw the out route was open, but it actually wasn't because Acrobat can cover so much ground, but that's besides the point. Yeah, flood, very solid. Again, if they double Mabel, the in route's going to be open, and they still might have to defend this running back route, because if it's double Mabel, I can check it down here, and I can probably still cut up field potentially, but you see against stock coverage, that out route's going to be the same thing as the in route, just breaking outside. Still very good against man coverage. One of the best plays against man coverage because you have Y that's going to beat it, RB, and of course X. And again, it's just super difficult. You have to send out so many zones to stop these plays. If you send pressure, there's a lot of times easy reads to make. And then again, you get a mobile quarterback, and then they can still scramble out. So it really is a pain. Against this coverage that we're in, I probably should have switched coverages, which I actually might do after this just to show it a little bit better. It defends the out routes pretty well in the in routes, and of course, we have hook curls that are non-user controlled. They will defend that in route well, but I'm actually going to switch to a cover 4 just so you can see this a little bit better. All right, guys, here's flood against a stock cover 4 show 2, so this is including match coverage. Take a look at Cole Beasley against match coverage. Beautiful right there. And of course, some people will put out adjustments out of their cover 4, which is likely, but this particular out route still does do a pretty good job of beating those. They would have to put some kind of a curl flat at around that range. You see how X, he's wide open, so immediately the user will have to defend RB and X if he's going with this particular setup. And then you're including the fact that he probably has to user either the safety or someone else. If he's using this strong safety on the right side, the safety up there, then the outside quarter will automatically match onto Sanders. If he's using this left guy, there's not really anything that goes into his zone, but you see how he kind of like does nothing anyway, so it won't really affect it. But most people either use the inside backer or this left guy. I've seen most people use him, so if they're using him, let's actually take a look at what he does. He is going to, again, he kind of stands there and does nothing, but again, you see late in the play, the RB route is wide open, which I rolled out the wrong side, but yeah, let's hop into flood setup number 2. Again, I'm going to gotta kind of start going faster in the video. I don't want to be super long, but for this setup, you're just going to flat B, put Y on this little baby out route, and then what you're going to do is delay fade A. So going back to the delay fade for the 3rd straight play. Just again, simple type of a setup. Again, we're not using any motion. This is a type of a play where you kind of want to throw this out route on the break with a low ball. But again, this is when you're expecting someone to send heat, so he rushes 5 people. Someone's going to be open. You, of course, block 6, as I accidentally forgot to flat my wide receiver there, but certainly one of the better setups I've seen for this flood play. It's just, again, has it all. A lot of outside breaking concepts, but you still have that in route, which, again, is you're not going to run flood every play, so he's not going to expect that in route coming out of nowhere. You can hit that route a lot. It will usually be the one that you're going to throw it to, usually open, so you definitely don't want to sleep on that backside in route. But yeah, not too much to talk about. Again, I can kind of roll out here. You see if I roll out, RB will be open. I can still delay fade A. Match actually does defend the delay fade well, ironically enough. I don't know how it can tell that it's on a delay fade, but somehow does. So that is another benefit to running that match defense. But yeah, let's hop into our next play, which will be spacing real quick. And this is just a solid play. Again, spacing, you're pretty much just going to run it stock. Now, cover 4, again, does a good job. Similar to man coverage on this. Cover 3 will not do good, so we're going to switch back real quick. This is another play that is a double Mabel killer. So if he's hard flatting and curl flatting, run this play and you'll eat him alive. You'll definitely make him want to switch quickly. There you see we have A and X wide open against stock cover 3. This is one of the best quick snap plays in the game, especially when you're doing what JonBeast's does. What he does, again, he comes out on the short side of the field like this, and then he flips it, but sometimes people will wait to do their adjustments when they flip. If you're doing that, then you can quick snap, like throw this play, and it still works very well from the short side of the field. Both routes still open, so that is definitely a play you can run from this short side of the field, and it's also a quick snap play. What he did a lot through both games, or all 3 games, is he actually went hurry up offense. This would usually be one of his no huddle plays. It would be this in verticals, if I remember correctly, just running this stock. Again, no adjustments. This swing route, it actually can be good. You can kind of playmaker it upfield. It's pretty good against like a Mike Blitz 3, if I remember correctly, but it could also be good. This is also a very good red zone play. You can kind of quick snap this in the red zone, and usually you can hit one of these routes. You shouldn't really get sacked or pressured like we did there. But yeah, just one of the best plays in the game, and that is going to be it for the set of audibles. Now we're going to hop into 4 new plays. All right, the first play we're going to hop into quickly because it's the play that I only saw him run it once, I think. Maybe a couple times in the red zone, but it was always the same setup, so he only has one setup for this play. It's going to be the dig return. What you want to do for this is just put X on a little baby smoke screen, so smoke screen him. You have kind of a deeper zig with Emmanuel Sanders on that right-hand side of the ball. You're going to have that flat, just a good red zone concept. This is what he ran to score a touchdown against Don't Care About Ice. Hitting this in route. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but I have seen where this in route gets open, and then you can kind of throw it over the top. Works better in the red zone, of course. I'm not going to move the ball because I don't care that much enough, but yeah, it's not that much of a play that he ran for me to move the ball. But yeah, you see this zig route can actually be good. Of course, very good play against man coverage. A lot of people will expect that guy to kind of be on either a crosser, some kind of a weird route, because it doesn't look like he's going to be on a zig. He starts out slow, and then he ends up breaking, so it is a little bit deeper. But yeah, you have your flat, just a simple play. You can run it in situational attempts, and you can run it at the red zone like he did. Next play is going to be this read option. I cannot stress this enough, and it's something I probably should have showed first, because this is almost a balanced offense for the way that he ran the ball. He would run it pretty much every single first down, whether he's getting 1 yard or 4 yards, but you definitely want to take advantage of this. It just makes things easier on yourself. You can catch someone if they're potentially rushing 3 or 2. You can maybe weak box them, but usually just this read option, it can be pretty solid. You can kind of cut it up here. You're not expecting touchdowns. It's not a touchdown running formation, but you can easily expect these 4-yard gains, and you see there against a regular 3-3-5 wide with one of the best defensive lines in the game, we actually break it in for that much yards. Now, if you do have a mobile quarterback, you can actually keep the ball. Most people will play option defense on the quarterback conservative, so immediately that actually takes this guy out of the play. He's not going to rush the passer, as you see there, and it allows you to kind of cut it inside. And as long as you're getting 3, 4, 5 yards, that's a good play in your book. Even if you get 1 yard, you're still keeping him honest. You're still making sure that he thinks about the run. And that time, you notice that the outside backer actually came in on he collapsed on the running back, and we were still able to pick up 10+ yards. So again, if you can keep it like this. Quarterback starts out very slow in these option plays, but if you have enough space similar to this, you can break it for a first down type of a gain. So definitely want to take advantage of this. This is another one of the plays that you can run on the short side of the field. You see there, yet another 10-yard gain. So you can either cut it inside. Usually you want to cut it in right away. But again, I can run this on the short side of the field. You come on the short side, maybe expects a flip. He doesn't set up all of his defensive adjustments. And then you run the read option. You can still pick up solid yards. 4 or 5 yards is really what you're looking for. But a couple times a game, you'll break it for an easy first down. So if you're not running this, you're just kind of hurting yourself in the offense. Next play is going to be Z-spot. So for Z-spot, what you're going to do is we have one setup for this as well. For the Z-spot setup, what you're going to do is you're going to flat B. We're going to guess what we're bringing out. We're going to bring out the delay fade once again. Delay fade A, flat B. So those are your first 2 adjustments. The next thing you're going to do is actually curl X. You're going to curl the running back, and then what he does is he actually motions this running back over. So it's going to look like this. It can be a tell, but a lot of things are tells in this game, and it's so difficult to play defense that usually it doesn't matter. So this is just a basic Z-spot setup. This particular coverage, again, you see it actually defends it well, like a stock kind of a cover 3 look. That corner out usually gets open against majority of coverages, but it is a very timing type of a throw. You have to have good timing on this. Again, here's a look at the setup. And I'm sure there's other ways he runs it. This is the only setup that he ran. I know guys like Clef ran a lot more Z-spot, so if you guys want to see some Z-spot, I could also drop Clef's version of the offense. I was hoping he won it because he was a lot more creative on offense, but you can't control that. When you accidentally run commit, that's not going to win you games. But yeah, we'll show you just one more time again. It doesn't work the best, but this running back curl is an interesting concept. This hook curl actually sits on it well, but you do have the option to still playmaker it outside of that, complete it that way. Again, this is going to be a decent to half-decent concept against a combination of match coverage or double Mabel or a standard kind of mix of the two. This backside curl usually can get open depending on the coverage. Again, it just depends on what your opponents do. Against like the stock cover 3, again, you see the curl front's going to sit on it, but you still have your delay fade at the end of the day if things go bad. So just a decent setup. Again, if you want to see more Z-spot, recommend that Clef ebook or Clef scheme in the comment section down below. But with that being said, we're going to hop into the last play, which will be smash return. Now, I actually can't show these setups all the way through. I still have the setups written down, but one thing I can't do is I don't have the abilities that he had right now with the Bills. Someone has it, but I wanted to have Gunslinger. Maybe even Hopkins has Outside Apprentice. I honestly don't know. I don't play regs enough, but for this setup, you're going to put X on a post route. So you're going to put X on a post. Again, I don't have posts, so I'll just throw them on a streak just to clear them out. So pretend X is on a post. If you see the written version, you'll understand that it's a post route, but what you're going to do here is you're going to go ahead and throw B on a flat, RB on a drag, and just block your running back. So here's the setup. Again, it looks a lot better with the post route. This is a nice little man beater, match beater as well. You have a flat. You also have this deeper corner out that ends up breaking well. This is another one of the plays, you guessed it, that he runs on the short side of the field. I think he ran this particular setup on the short side and the wide side of the field, so he ran both. Again, flat X, post B, where again, I'm just streaking him, but here would be your first setup, drag RB. Make sure you drag RB so he keeps going, otherwise he doesn't. You see how the corner out could fit in potentially on the other side of the zones. Again, these stock coverages seem to defend corner outs well, so I don't understand why, but yeah, just a stock smash return type setup. You can actually kind of fit it in right here if you really wanted to, so it's a lot better with that deeper post route, extend zones up the field, but again, good against man coverage. So we'll hop into the last setup of the video, or setup number 2 out of smash return. So what we're doing for this setup is we're going to slant RB. We're still going to post, wrong play. What we're going to do for this setup is we are going to slant RB. Instead of that, we're going to actually put B on a little fade. And then what I noticed with this one is he, again, X is on this post route. I should have said that, but X is on the post. What I noticed for this one, he kind of motions Emmanuel Sanders out, motions him around here. So this is the first play, actually, that we use motion. This will open up the corner out a lot against outside zones. It'll pull up those deeper zones so they can't kind of bite in on those deeper fade routes. This setup, it's decent. I think it's a match type beater, but again, these setups will look a lot better if you had X on a post route. We don't have that, but yeah, don't underestimate these. Both these will be open. You see A, he's going to get wide open. This is a rollout type of a concept. You do kind of want to roll out to this right-hand side. It gives you the threat to either throw the fade, the corner out, or that deep post over the top. So that is something that you usually would want to incorporate, or you can stand tall in the pocket and hit the slant route. So just another way to run this smash return. There honestly might have been another way. I don't know that I wrote it down, though. So we actually just got hecka pancakes right there. What the heck? But yeah, solid play. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of these smash return setups myself, but he still had some manageable success with them, decent success in the games with them, so I did have to talk about them. But that's going to do for the video. Again, let me know if you want to see, you know, Joke's defense or Clef's offense, some stuff like that. I can try to. It's difficult because, again, I would make more defensive videos on these, but you can't see the setups, and I'm not buying ebooks to get the setups. That's just something that's messed up, so it's difficult to do those. Offense, you can see the setups, and it's easier to tell what the plays are when you only have a variety, but there's so many more defensive adjustments to make, so that's why it's a little bit more difficult, and I would probably only be showing like 1 or 2 setups instead of, you know, 20 plays, 20 setups. But that's going to do it for the video. If you enjoyed, drop a big thumbs up. If you want more of these, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Show some love on this video, comment down below, and peace. I'm out of here.